Hello, I'm Shankar Kambhampaty. Welcome to this episode of 1 MKB, 1 Minute Knowledge Byte. Today I want to do a quick minute on ransomware. Let me begin with something that is going around IT solution discussions these days. Don't treat servers as pets, they say. Treat them as cattle. Now, this is the evolving view in data center and cloud. Basically, you love your pets and don't want anything to happen to them. Unlike cattle, where you have no choice. I'm a vegetarian, and so here is my variant. Don't treat servers as flowers, treat them as apples. Well, that sounds funny, but you get the picture. Let us put this in context. You've heard of ransomware attacks. So, what is ransomware? In simple words, ransomware is a malware that uses encryption to hold victims' information at ransom. So two things happen when someone is affected by ransomware. A user or organization's critical data is encrypted so that they cannot access files or databases or applications on a particular server. So a ransom is then demanded to provide access. Ransomware is created to spread across the network by these malicious actors, and they target databases and file servers. And doing this can paralyze an entire organization. Many of you may remember the WannaCry ransomware attack. It infected computers across the globe by exploiting vulnerability in Windows. So how do you deal with a ransom situation? One old technique is don't pay the ransom. How can you avoid it? Because your data is in there, right? Well, the attacker can hold you to ransom because the data in the server is important to you. In other words, there is an affinity with a particular server like you do with your pet, right? If you did not have that, then the attacker cannot hold you to ransom. What if you actually had the data backed up elsewhere and could rebuild the server in a standard manner in a ransomware situation? And at that time, you would have no affinity with any server like you would have with your pet, right? So that's the basic concept. To be able to do that, you should be able to just kill the affected server and recover smoothly. For this, you need to architect specific solutions and put in place processes to recover from your infrastructure and applications. So first important thing is you need to protect your data. You do this by taking backup. Now, what is backup? Backup is creating a copy of the system's data and using it for recovery. Should the original data be lost or corrupted or encrypted in the case of a ransomware attack. We typically use a tape library. It could be physical, it could be virtual to store the backups. We also use a criterion called RPO, Recovery Point Objective. That is the maximum allowable data that may be lost in the event of a cyber attack or a disaster. This criterion determines how frequently you need to take backups. Once you have the backup, you have to make sure that it is immutable, because the malware by definition corrupts your system, right? Or steals your system data. In this particular case, in the case of ransomware attack, by definition, it encrypts it. So you should not allow any changes to the data, and that is making it immutable. So these immutable backups that you create, as part of your backup process, you can actually save that on a cyber vault environment. So what is a cyber vault? It's an air-gapped environment, basically to put your backups and which remains immutable, which you do not allow for corruption to happen there. But then if you had backups of your applications, you can then kill an infected server, spin up a new server, restore the uninfected data from the backup, and then you can continue with your business, and the attacker cannot hold you to ransom. So there are many aspects of security of great importance for solution developers and architects. It is one of the important capabilities of infrastructure architecture. I have elaborated it in my book, Infrastructure Architecture for Data Center and Cloud. You see the picture of that on the screen there. There is more to it in my blog, www.archtech.com, where you can read my articles on technology and post your views. I would love to hear from you. Links to the book, reference, and my blog are available for you online. Thank you very much. I hope you've liked this video. Bye for now.